Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, hello there, I'm Degen. This is Marvel Heroes, All Things Scarlet Witch. In this video, I'm going to show you a bunch of her costumes, all the ones that I have, all of her powers, and probably some other Scarlet Witch stuff. Like, for example, if you didn't know, I'm sure most of you know, but in case you don't, Scarlet Witch is actually the daughter of Magneto and brother of Quicksilver. And she wasn't always a member of the Avengers. She used to be a bad guy. Yeah, it's all true. It's all true. Anyways, let's get it on. Alright, and now on to the Scarlet Witch costumes that I have. We have the default costume, the Scarlet Witch modern costume. This is the one that starts off on Scarlet Witch when you first get her. It's pretty nice. You got the red cape, you got the pink. I don't know, not much I can say about it because I don't know what any of this stuff's called. But yeah. The next one is the Scarlet Witch Marvel Now costume. This one doesn't have a cape. It's more of, I don't know if this would be called a dress or what. You can see some cleavage, that's always nice. And still wearing the same, I don't know if this would be classified as a mask or a helmet. Or I know it's neither one of those things, but it's something. It's something. Then there's the Scarlet Witch Heroes Reborn costume, where this one is just some like super tight pants. The cape is black now. We get some belly. And the helmet mask face guard thingy is way bigger now. I don't know. And yeah, did I say the cape was black? I think I did. And there's little shoulder pads. They're black. Woo! Here's the Scarlet Witch Romani costume. This one is... Anyways, yeah. So, we got the old little like front flappy little like front cape thing here. Then there's a big cape. I don't know the proper terminology. I apologize for that. There's a big red cape in the back. And a lot of skin. Oh yeah, and check out this bracelet jewelry and the big earrings. And here's the Scarlet Witch, the crossing uniform or costume or whatever. This one's got a little front flap thingy, a little crack cover back flap thing, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, and this one, she's not wearing a cape. It looks like her crazy little mask, headband, helmet, whatever thingamabob is actually more of like a headband in this one. It's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, this is a pretty nice costume right here. She doesn't have the cape in it, though. And yeah, I don't know. That's it. That's all the costumes I have. So tell me what your favorite costume for Scarlet Witch is in the comments below, and I will tell you what my favorite costume for Scarlet Witch is at the end of the video. And on to the powers. Starting out in the Decimation tree, the first power we get at level 1 is called Hex Bolt. It's a basic power. This does mental damage. As you put points into it, you'll increase the mental damage, and this has a synergy with the other basic powers. Here is the range, and here's what it looks like. Here's the next basic power. It's called Menacing Hex. You unlock this one at level 10. This one also does mental damage and energy and mental defense reduction. So as you put points into this, you'll increase the energy. And the next basic power at level 10 is called Menacing Hex. This one does mental damage, and it also has energy and mental defense reduction. And as you put points into it, you'll increase that reduction and the duration. This also has a synergy with the other basic powers. This is also the range, and this is also what it looks like. Very similar to the last one. And finally, at level 20, you'll unlock the third basic power, which is Bewitching Hex. This one does mental damage. This one has the energy and mental defense reduction, as well as restores spirit. This has synergy with other basic powers. The mental defense reduction scales with Menacing Hex, which was the last one. As you put points into this, you'll increase the spirit you restore as you shoot it. Once again, this is the range, and this is what it looks like. Alright, and next up we have Hex Orb. Unleash an orb of chaos that stuns enemies in its path. This does mental damage, and it stuns enemies in its path. Exactly what it says. As you put points into it, you'll increase the mental damage. This is what it looks like. Stuns enemies in its path. Penetrates right through the guys, stunning everyone in its path. I can't say that enough. It stuns enemies in its path. At level 6, you'll be able to unlock Combusting Hex. Use your Hex powers to cause an area to burst into flame that burns enemies. This does energy damage per second, and as you put points into it, you'll increase the energy damage per second. This is what it does. It just slaps down a circle of fire on the ground, and it just cooks guys. At level 24, you'll be able to unlock the power Reality Implosion. Create a brief reality warp that violently pulls together all enemies in an area. This does mental damage. As you put points into it, you'll increase the mental damage. This is what it does. It will pull all enemies together, so you can actually use it to pull enemies away from you. I don't know why, but I freaking love the powers that do this. I love the powers in this game that just pull enemies around for some reason. I don't know why, maybe because it's kind of unique. I've never seen a game really do that before. Or maybe it does and I've just never noticed. I don't know. Either way, I really love those powers. At level 16, you'll be able to unlock Ruinous Tempest. This is a toggle on power. You'll toggle it on and it'll be surrounding you. It'll do mental damage to the enemies. As you put points into it, you'll increase the damage it does. As you can see down on my bottom A slot, it toggles on when you hit A and it just damages the enemies while they stand in it. And finally, at level 30, you'll be able to unlock Chaos Tempest. This is another Tempest power. This one does mental damage and it will slow the enemies that are inside it. Also, I'd like to mention that if you activate a Tempest power while you have another one active, it will cancel out the first one. As you put points into this one, you'll increase the mental damage. This is the AoE range of the Chaos Tempest, and this is what it does when you use it on enemies. It slows guys and all that good stuff. You can see the bar down here. Alright, and now for the negation tree. The first power we'll get into is Enfeebling Veil. Now, this is a little bubble you'll pop on. It'll weaken enemies for a certain duration. As you put points into it, it will increase the amount of damage that it weakens from the enemy and the duration that it will last on the enemy. When you use it, you hit the key to toggle it on, and it'll be a bubble that will be on you until you toggle it off or, I don't know, die or something. And when the enemies hit you while this is on, all that good stuff happens to them. And by all that stuff, I mean they get weakened. Now at level 12, you'll get Withering Hex. This will create a circle on the ground that when it touches enemies, will weaken the damage they deal. As you put points into this, you'll increase the area duration. Now the damage reduction on this one scales with Enfeebling Veil. This is what it looks like. You just put this on the ground and the enemies in this get weakened. Now at level 26, you'll be able to get Warding Tempest. This will call forth a Tempest of Beneficial Fortune that will negate harmful power effects to the area around you. So the initial duration is 6 seconds. As you put points into it, you'll increase the duration. This is what it looks like when you use it. Now this one's not a toggle on Tempest like that first one was. This one will wear off after the duration wears out. But activating another Tempest will still cancel it out. Now at level 2, you'll be able to unlock Enervating Hex. Use a Hex to eliminate enemy advantages and render foes vulnerable to attacks. This will lower an enemy's defense and it'll last for a certain duration, whatever. Okay, so as you put points into this, you'll increase the percentage of defense that it lowers. You just use it on an enemy like that, and you can tell when it's on them because they're all head glowy, bubbly, ready. Ready, I meant to say ready as in like the color red with an E at the end. You know, to try and sound like a jerk. But instead it just sounded like I was saying, hey guys, I'm ready to go. And at level 20, you'll unlock Corrosive Hex. This will also lower an enemy's defense by a bit more. This one will just sit on the ground though. You don't cast this one directly on the enemies or whatever. You just slap this bad boy down on the ground. It'll put some like poison looking gunk down there. Probably some kind of witchcraft. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, that'll lower the enemy's defense, anyone who's in that area. As you put points into it, you'll just increase the area duration. And the actual defense reduction scales with the ranks of Enervating Hex. At level 18, you'll be able to unlock Entroping Warding. This will channel the power of chaos magic to slow enemies and projectiles in the area, I guess. Anyways, this will slow them by 75%. As you put points into it, you'll increase the area duration. This is what it does. You slap it down on the ground wherever you want, and enemies and projectiles inside that area will move slower. Alright, and finally, in the Disruption tree, the first power we'll get at level 1 is a passive power called Chaos Magic. Your innate link to Chaos Magic allows your powers to inflict random harmful effects on enemies. This will have a random chance to do things to enemies, so you'll slow their attack speed. Enemy critical hit chance will go down. You'll weaken them by a certain percent, like the damage they deal. You'll do extra damage. You'll slow their movement speed, and all this has a random percent chance to go off. At rank 5, it's 8.1, for example. As you put points into it, you'll increase the activation chance, as well as all that other stuff, and this is just a passive, So that stuff just randomly has a chance of happening as you're hitting enemies. At level 8, you'll be able to unlock Chthonic Gloom. You'll summon the terrifying power of the Elder Gods to send enemies fleeing in fear. This will be a little circle you slap on the ground, and enemies that go in that circle will just get the crap scared out of them and just book it. Here it is. Put it down. See you later, guys. Oh, coming back for more? Nope. See you later. Get out of here. Bye. See ya. What, are you scared? Okay, I'm done messing with these fellas. Oh, and as you put points into that, you'll increase the fear duration as well as the area duration. At level 28, you'll be able to unlock Ominous Veil. Cloak yourself in a veil of terror that may cause enemies attacking to flee in fear. So if they're shooting at you or punching you in the face or whatever, they might all of a sudden be like, whoa, and then just run away all scared. I don't know, that might not be how they do it, but that's how they're going to do it in my scenario. Anyways, this just has a chance to do that. The fear duration will scale with the previous power, so the points you put into that will increase the duration the fear lasts on this guy. And yeah, so as you put points into this, you'll increase the duration it lasts and the activation chance for when enemies are hitting you. When you put it on, this is just what it looks like. You run around, you're all like smoky, and if you look closely, there's skeleton ghosts coming at ya. Oh, those skeleton ghosts. They're ghosts of skeletons. Ah, those skeleton ghosts. Did I say skeleton ghosts enough time? I don't know. At level 3, you'll be able to unlock Hex Binding. This will immobilize enemies. It's pretty straightforward. It'll do mental damage per second while it's on the enemies. And as you put points into it, you'll increase the mental damage per second and the immobilize duration. This is how it works. You just use it on the enemies, and it'll mobilize them. You want to chase me? You can't. You're immobilized. See you later. Oh, they're coming now, boy. At level 30, you'll be able to unlock Ravenous Binding and snare your enemies, drawing on their life force to rejuvenate your health. So this one will also bind them. That'll do mental damage over seconds. It'll immobilize them, and it will regenerate your health while they're immobilized. This has a synergy with Hex Binding. As you put points into it, you'll increase the damage, the immobilize, and the health restore. Here it is. It looks just like the other one, kind of. There's a little extra, like, flamey effect on there. At level 14, you'll unlock Winds of Chaos. This is a fly. We all know about flies. You hold it down. It'll drain your spirit as you fly. You'll get haste to your movement speed. This is what it looks like. Caw, caw, cock. I don't know if that's the right kind of noises, but anyways, this is the fly. And finally, at level 22, you'll be able to unlock Bewildering Hex. This will unleash a hex that causes your enemies to fight one another. You'll slap this circle on the ground. It'll give a haste to attack speed, damage bonus. And yeah, as you put points into it, you'll increase those things. Area duration will also increase. And let's see if we can find some enemies to duke it out. Here you go, guys. Fight each other, not me. I'm just here to watch. Look at them shooting at each other. Killing each other. Hey, what are you doing? There you go. Shoot each other dead. Hey. Don't stop now. Yep. There we go. Last one standing. He was the victor. Only to be defeated by me. Alright, and finally we have Scarlet Witch's ultimate power, Unmake Reality. Unravel nearby reality with a wave of uncontrollable chaos magic, utterly erasing nearby minor enemies and briefly removing more powerful enemies from existence. Enemies defeated with this do not drop loot. Alright, so this does that. It erases enemies from existence. Duration 3 seconds. I don't know what that means. This has a cooldown of 20 minutes. I have 2 of these Hoodads. I haven't used them yet, so I figured I'll use them in the video, like I always like to do. Let's eat them up. Unmake Reality upgraded. ×2. Or +2, rather. Anyways, okay, so that gave us 1 more second on the duration, and it brought the cooldown down. Let's give this a whirl. I'm going to try to just find a bunch of regular enemies to use this on, like these guys here. Oh, by the way, this is the AoE range. And I'm not going to use it on a boss, considering it said it doesn't work on a boss except for a short time. Anyways, let's use it. Boom. See you guys later. We pretty much just vaporized them. We're crying now. I don't know why we're so sad. We just saved our own lives. Those guys were trying to kill us. Stop crying. Please stop crying. Please stop crying. Are you still crying? Please stop crying. Please stop crying. Come on. Why are you crying? There. Cheer up. Anyways, sorry about that. I got a little carried away. that's it for the powers. And it's that time for the end of the video. And like I said earlier, I'd tell you what my favorite costume was. It's this one, the Scarlet Witch Romani costume. You can fly with this cape. You can whip it around. Yeah! No, I'm just kidding. You can't fly with the cape, but you can fly if you have the power. Anyways, this is my favorite costume for Scarlet Witch in this game that I have. And yeah, so anyways, that's all. And I encourage you to check out my channel to see some other hero videos I've made. I've made a ton of Marvel Heroes videos from these all things, character things, and some other stuff. But I'm going to name off the characters that I've covered up to this point because I love doing that because there's a lot and I know I can't remember them, but it's like a brain challenge for me, you know? So I've got Spider-Man, Iron Man, Thor, Deadpool, Wolverine, Hulk, Punisher, Black Panther, Cyclops, Cable, Miss Marvel, Jean Grey, Rocket Raccoon, Black Widow, Thing, Storm. I'm forgetting a lot, aren't I? Yeah. I don't know, just go look at my channel and there's a bunch of them. I know I'm gonna remember them as soon as I'm done this and I'm gonna be like, ah, yeah, that's who it was. Grr. There's probably a few that I forgot, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so the only two I haven't done yet are Hawkeye and Daredevil, and then after those two, oh, those will be coming soon, by the way. After those two, I'll start working on other videos that will still be continuation of these all things type, but it'll be more endgame stuff and that kind of stuff, you know, like farther along. Like I'm getting all the early stuff out of the way with these, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes of everything. Anyways, I've been blabbing on for far too long now, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day. I'm Degen, this is Marvel Heroes All Things Scarlet Witch. Thanks a ton for watching. Bye!